1460 WVOX.
Stay tuned now for the Racing for Heroes radio show with host Brett Morash on 1460 WVOX.
All right. Hey, Racing for Heroes fans. It is Brett Morash. We're here on 1460 AM WVOX.com as well, streaming on Facebook Live right now. And we are having some amazing guests today. But our first one up is Donald Bradsher. He is the owner of Mega Plumbing of the Carolinas, as well as the owner of Paylor Motorsports, the Tim McCreadie Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series number 39 car, which is part of the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. And they are currently, I think, fourth in the standings. And also Don is a racer as well. So Donald, are you on the line?
Yes, sir.
Hey, well, thanks for being on the show. We're so excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we've had Tim a couple times, but we've never had the actual owner of the team on. So we're super proud to have you here.
Well, it's a great pleasure to be here and appreciate what all y'all do for everybody.
Well, thanks for that, Donald. Hey, so tell us a little bit about being a race team owner and how that's going.
It's going really well. We're in our third season, and the first year we done it, we finished second in points. Last year we won the championship. This year things seem to be going all right. We already got a victory for the year, and in the top three in points, and Lucas Oil points. But it's a little different being a team owner versus being a driver. It seems like it's a lot more to worry about with team owner, getting everything organized and keeping people going in the right direction.
Well, and it's not just you, it's your wife, Gina, as well. I mean, she's just amazing.
Yes, she is. She is a great supporter, and, I couldn't ask for a better partner and a team owner and partner in life. We're coming up on our 34th wedding anniversary, April the 9th, and she loves it as much as I do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, I had a chance to meet her in person last year when we were out in Minnesota, and just like what a wonderful person. In fact, Mike Evock was telling me, I have to ask you, like, how did you guys meet, and what's her background in racing as well?
We actually met at a little local dirt go-kart track somewhere around 1984. Her dad had two girls, but he was involved in go-kart racing and had different people drive for him. And me and my dad and family was racing there. And, he asked me to drive his go-karts. And then, me and Gina become friends, and we dated kind of off and on. And 4 years later, we were married.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So she actually grew up with racing too. So she knew what she was getting into.
Yes, sir. Her dad had something to do with racing, from race cars to go-karts. I think he'd have raced a lot more if he could have found a place to do it.
Yeah, roger that. No, listen, I mean, you were at like some of the racing that, like, when I was younger, I used to watch it as a kid, growing up in Massachusetts, even where I was, it was still like a lot of tracks like Riverside and stuff that you could go to and watch racing. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that was us. We had Ace Speedway, which was in Burlington, is a asphalt track now. When I was growing up, it was a dirt track. It had late models back in the day in the 70s and 80s when I was a kid, and we had 311 Speedway. It was about 7-8 racetracks within a 2-hour drive of our house when I was a kid. So my mom and dad loved it. So I think my mom told me I might have been 3 when I went to the first dirt race.
Oh, wow. Okay. We got to get them early, because otherwise, they might do something completely different. So
that is for sure. And, in my life, I really think racing helped me as far as, my career, having a work ethic, because, my dad helped work on different race cars and stuff. And, it takes a lot of dedication to do this. So I think racing and being around that group of people kind of teaches you a good work ethic and gets you set up for life a lot of times.
Well, I think it's a community thing too. I mean, you're working, because if you don't show up, there's one less racer. So it's not just as like you're working on your car and the ethic to get that car ready for the track, but you're also going there because there's other people that are racing too in the same thing. So you're all in that competitive sort of way. It really is a community.
That is very true, and I tell people all the time, I don't know a lot about stick and ball sports, but one thing in the racing community, it seems like you can be arguing with the guy and lead racetrack 5 minutes and break down the road, and that same guy you was arguing with pulls up and helps you change your tire, fix your car, and it seems like a very close community when other racers are in trouble or have family members that may fall to an illness or something.
Sure.
It really seems like we stick together.
Yeah.
Right. To me, it kind of like the military.
Mm-hmm.
We're one big family, and we're here to protect everybody.
Yeah, and I think it's that, that's why for us, with Race for Heroes, we have motorsports therapy. And, I always think of it as kind of two things. I mean, it's obviously getting in the car and racing and getting that adrenaline rush, but it's also the team that's there to put the car together and make sure it's ready to rock and roll on the track, because you are supporting that person behind the wheel.
100%.
Yeah, and I think that is absolutely one of the things that I always find exciting with Racing for Heroes, is just watching that team dynamic, and how everyone leans in to make it happen. And I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and that's true. And when I first met Mike, and they come on the car as a sponsor, and we're extremely proud to carry Racing for Heroes. And he started telling me some of the things that working on a race car, driving a race car, it really makes your whole body and brain function work. I guess back as a team too, you've got a little bit of everything moving when you're driving a race car: your feet, your hands, your brain, your hearing, and your eyesight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's unreal what we can do to rehabilitate people through racing.
Yeah, it is. And, I think that, we just got a grant from Mitsubishi Electric Americas to actually do that, to help veterans get into automotives and learn how to become mechanics in race teams. I mean, so we're seeing it, and, we're starting to really see being recognized for that as well.
That's great. You can't ask for no better grant than that.
No. But listen, we can't have a better partner than the Mega Plumbing team either. So, I think it's, over the past couple of years, we've really been working at trying to get out there. In fact, as you probably know, we're actually the start line feather now, feather flag, and it's the Lucas Oil Racing for Heroes start line in all the races now.
Yeah, that's what Mike was telling me. And then, they made the announcement, and I think that's absolutely great. It brings more attention to y'all each and every week. The only thing that we need to do, we need to make sure that Racing for Heroes Mega Plumbing Bill Stein shot car is up front each and every time that green flag drops.
Well, hopefully we'll see more of that.
Yeah.
Well, I've been told that the Racing for Heroes logo actually adds about 3 miles per hour to every car it's on. So, it can't hurt.
That's right. It can't hurt. That's right.
Hey, so I don't know if you know this, Donald, but way back when I was a kid, I wanted to go to the vocational high school, and my parents wouldn't let me, but I wanted to be a plumber. So I appreciate that you are one, professionally, even though you're kind of the boss guy now. But how did you get into plumbing?
I think a little bit. I grew up working on a farm and stuff, but I left the farm, and I thought the greatest thing would be to go to work inside in a mill. And that was probably now, I'm not knocking mill workers or people that work in factories, but it was the worst mistake for me. I couldn't focus in there. It made no sense. So I quit. And a lady at a temp agency said plumbers made a lot of money. So I said, well, that's the job that I need right there. And I quit a job making $6.06 an hour and went to work for $4.50 an hour. So,
yeah, but now you're in charge of Mega Plumbing, and I think it needs to be like Mega Plumbing of the Carolinas. It has to have that monster truck voice, I think, when you talk about it. But that's great, and Gina helps with that too, right? Because I think she's involved with the back end and the business side.
She is, and she runs. She's always done all the books for the company, and she gets all the bills paid and keeps all us guys going in the right direction of. A lot of people look at me as being Mega Plumbing and holding a license, but they don't realize she is probably twice as important as I am there, because if you're you're not getting the bills paid, getting the right deals cut along the way, you don't win on the other side.
I'll let you know. Okay, yeah, roger that. And Donald, so for the rest of the season, though, what are the next races coming up, and where can people find out more about the race team?
They can go to Tim McCreadie's website, timmccreadie.com, or they can go to Paylor Motorsports. .com and pick up the schedule. Also, they can go on Dirt. That's a couple of other things. But for the next couple of weeks, we will be in Bristol, Tennessee. We're actually in Bristol tonight and tomorrow night, racing for 50,000, and we're back in Bristol next Friday and Saturday night, racing for 50. And then the following weekend, we will be in Tyler County, West Virginia, Hagerstown, Maryland, and Port Royal, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But like I said, Tim McCreadie's website and Paylor Motorsports keeps up full schedule and results.
Yeah, we actually have a couple of Racing Heroes friends and family going out to the race in Port Royal, Hagerstown, and the one in West Virginia as well. So hopefully they'll have a chance to come down and visit the team down the pits. Yeah,
definitely tell them to please go by and introduce themselves. They love to have you guys come up, and veterans and people from the military to come up and speak to them. Don't hesitate to walk up and introduce yourself. Yeah,
well, we'll put that out to them, and just the folks that are going to go. One is Mike's brother, and the other one is a longtime friend of ours. So we're just excited to have that. So what else, Donald? Any other shout outs for any of your sponsors and stuff before we shift to the next segment?
Yes, sir. We'd love to give a shout out to Longhorn Chassis, Cornet Race Engines, armslist.com. Anybody get a chance, go check out armslist.com. It's basically a gun broker. We're very proud to have them on the car. Of course, Mega Plumbing of the Carolinas, Baker Mitchell Plumbing Supply, Bill Sunshock, which is a huge supporter of ours. It makes this whole thing happen. And we'd like to thank each and every one of our associate sponsors.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, thanks again, Donald. We're super excited to have you as a partner, and we're looking forward to seeing the 39 car at the tip of the spear for the rest of the season.
Yes, sir. We look forward to seeing all y'all guys at the banquet this year. Hopefully, championship again.
Yeah. Well, we both are, so that should be amazing. So, all right. Thanks so much, Donald.
Thank you. You have a great day.
Yeah, will do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Donald Bradsher. He is the owner of Mega Plumbing of the Carolinas and the Paylor Motorsports, Tim McCreadie, Lucas Oil Late Model, Dirt Series number 39 car. Just great human. Him and his wife Gina, just the best. If you need any plumbing services, please reach out to them. They're just amazing. And our next guest, though, is Mike Evock, not to be confused with Mike Evock, our founder, but Mike Evock Jr., his son. So we are excited to have him on talking about how Racing for Heroes has made an impact in his life, what he's doing now, and what it was like growing up as a military kid in the special forces community. Mike, you on the line?
Yes, sir.
Well, I want to call you Junior, of course. And, my kids, they're at school right now, but they talk about you all the time and how like they really believe in the world according to Junior kind of ethos. So I appreciate you talking to my military brats, because of course they were Navy brats themselves.
Well, you raised a good bunch.
It's all my wife. I was deployed most of the time, so I got to give my wife credit. So a little shout out to Aline there. But so I know that we talked before the show about a couple different things, but let's start with being a military kid. My kids they were really, really young when I was still deployed over in East Africa for about a year and a half. So like they don't really remember it more than me kind of bringing stuff back. But your dad was in the special forces, which was different than me, and I'm sure Mike will give me a hard time about this, but I spend most of my time in air-conditioned offices traveling around all of East Africa. But I had it pretty easy compared to your dad. So so tell us a little bit about that growing up on base or in the area.
Well, I mean, one thing I've always had with the community, my dad, all the guys he served with, they were family.
Mm-hmm.
So I always had uncles. I had someone, the military wives, they were always involved with each other, taking care of each other. It really was a community looking out for one another.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad, he was, constantly deployed. I think it wasn't until my 11th or 12th birthday we could actually have my birthday on my actual birthday because he was going to be there. He was always deployed around that time.
Yeah.
So just the stuff like that. When my dad was around, I appreciated time and I took advantage of it. Spent time with my dad. We'd be working on the four-wheelers.
Mm-hmm.
We'd go out riding. I'd help him out with like the Blazer, something like that. I always try to take advantage of the fact he was there. When he was gone, I understood what he was doing, and I understood he was protecting us.
Yeah. No, and I think that that's a good perspective, and I think that most military kids kind of see that. And because you're with your other military kids, it's a little different in that like all the other kids are kind of going through the same thing. So like that sense of community matters.
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, personally, from everything I do in life today, I can contribute to my dad, my Uncle Dave, my Uncle Curdy, Uncle Mario, Uncle Mike. I could go down a list. Every single one of them has impacted me in a way and taught me values and ethics that I use today that made me the man I am today.
Well, yeah, because, but you see that also with Racing for Heroes because you've been involved with Racing for Heroes since the beginning as well. I mean, I think I heard stories about you sitting in the back of the trailer sleeping when you guys were on the road racing.
Oh, yeah, big time. I mean, I actually had this talk with my dad probably towards the end of my high school. I thought everyone should have to go through a charity at some point because it really, it humbles you. There's a story I tell because I remember it. My dad, when we were first starting out, he had his late model that had the name of every fallen special operations service member on the car from 9/11 to present day because we couldn't fit so many names on it. And this lady comes out to us. We're at Fayetteville Speedway, and she has a 3-year-old girl in her arm and a 5-year-old boy attached to her hip. And she's just coming to see the car down at the pits. And the little girl points to a name that's on the hood.
Yeah.
And the mom stops and just starts tearing up. The son tears up. The daughter still is young enough. She's not really comprehending it, but the mom and the son were crying. That was the name of the girl's father, the woman's husband. He had passed away. Probably, I think it was about a year had gone by at that time.
Sure. And
I just remember just standing there because I was just introduced him to the car, and just the gravity of it all hit me. Wow, that everything in life can be bad sometimes, but it can always be worse. And
True.
There's people out there suffering that you don't know what they're going through that you could help them. So we had these die-cast cars, this metal car, and I asked my dad if I can go grab one, and he let me go grab one, and we highlighted the name and gave it to her, and you could just see how much that meant to her.
Yeah. No, and I think Mike's told me that story too, and it really brings home, what Racing for Heroes is all about, right? We're bringing awareness, we're honoring the service and sacrifice, and in particular, of our fellow warriors.
Oh yeah, and it just, when you meet the guys, you hear their stories, it does inspire you. You can make it through a lot. We have guys that have come through that door that you hear their story of what they went through, and you think, how, if that was me, would I just crumble? Like, would I give up? These guys, they took the pain they took, that they had been dealt in life, and they turned it into a positive of helping their community, of helping each other. And that really takes a special kind of person to do that.
It does. And I think that it's also the resiliency that I think that a lot of people have, but it's also the other parts of the community. So like at Racing for Heroes, a lot of us have had challenges in our lives, both in the military and as civilians. And we're there for each other to try to help your fellow person, get up from where they are kind of in life, especially, and listen, everyone has their nadirs in life, and that's when you need to really give someone a hand up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you see that at Racing for Heroes all the time. I mean, I know recently they had a couple folks that were there for, over a month, and, really just kind of helping them kind of turn the tide so that they could get back up on step. And that's really like your dad's leadership, as well as the other folks that are there day to day down at headquarters.
Yep, and I mean, I've seen it with all the guys that have come through that they need a task and purpose. They need a reason to get up in the morning. And that's one of the main priorities of Racing for Heroes is veterans are helping each other get through these times where they need someone. They need a shoulder to lean on. A lot of people that go through life think they can do this by themselves, and they think they got to be tough, and they ignore all the problems because, that's what it is to them. They know it's something I can just get over, and they don't know how much it's impacting them, and then they don't want to open up. This is what we're here for. We're here to be here for you. You have a community to protect you. You have a community to help you. You don't have to be the tough guy doing this all by yourself. You have someone out there.
Yeah, for sure. And listen, and that's where I feel for you, in particular, where, you are still helping us out with the nonprofit, whether it be as Santa Claus during charity laps or just being there for our various events. I mean, I really appreciate that, Junior.
I appreciate being there. I really do love going to these events. I love helping as much as I can. It makes me feel better. It inspires me to get through the day. It's a lot of great things with this charity since my dad started. Him and his buddies started it back in, I think, 2009, 2010.
Yep.
Even when I was a young kid, just going around helping them get the car ready, going to talk to veterans. They were raising money to help build a ramp is what really kicked it off for a veteran that was injured. Just seeing the community come together and people help each other, it's a great feeling.
Yeah. And listen, a little shift of gears here as we're kind of getting the last few minutes of the show. One, you got married recently to our very own Arian, who is our awesome executive assistant woman about town. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yep. And she's lucky, but you're probably even luckier. So I just want to put that into the universe there, Junior. So anyway, but you're also, you shifted gears. You're now an HVAC technician. How is that?
I love it. Well, I'm a talkative person.
No.
And I get to meet new people every day. I get to talk to them, and I like fiddling around with stuff in my hands. I like working on stuff. So the years I've been working on race cars, spoilers, and my dad has really helped me transition into this career path. I meet great people, and talking to people while I'm working, I find out we all have a lot in common, and we all want the best from our community. So it's really nice to do this kind of job. I really do like it. Yeah,
and how did you have to get the certification? Did you go to a schoolhouse for it or OJT? Like how have you been doing that?
Well, here they're training me up to get the cert.
Oh, good.
So
okay.
I think I have to work for 2.5 or 3 years under them, and I can go for both my electrician and my HVAC cert.
Wow, that's great, man. Well, listen, we'll be talking about the junior motorsports team soon enough. You'll be like Donald Bradsher with Mega Plumbing.
Oh yeah. Seeing me in the car, I have a lot of weight on the inside. It might help.
Team owner at least. So.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's what I was thinking, Junior, is that you'd be a great team owner. But yeah, no, that's incredible. And then who are you working for, by the way? So a little shout out for your company.
I'm working for Ted's HVAC.
And are they out of South Boston or?
They're in Roxborough, North Carolina. They're a bunch of great guys. I'm going to tell you right now, the owner, the guys there, their values, their ethics, they're really aligned with helping each other. So you get a great team when you have them come out.
Yeah, for sure. And hopefully they get you when they come out, so that when you're putting something in, you can talk to Junior Evock as much as possible. So you'll get definitely the inside scoop on a lot of things. So I appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
All right. Hey, any little final shout outs? We got about 2 minutes left of the show. So any final shout outs before I let you go?
Right. I know we're in the process of building a wellness center. So for anyone out there listening that wants to help out their community, wants to get involved, or someone that needs help, Racing for Heroes is here. We're a nonprofit that really is the community of veterans helping veterans. So if you guys want to get involved, check out racingforheroes.org and sign up for something. Come out to one of our events. Come out to volunteer some time. We could really use the help, and we really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, Junior, listen, I want to thank you again. I want to thank you for everything you do. Obviously, your wife, Arian, was just always there to back me up and the rest of the team, and is sort of the unsung hero of the office. So thanks so much, and I'll be talking to you again here soon.
I appreciate it. You have a nice day.
Yep, roger that. Thanks a lot, Junior. And with that, Racing for Heroes fans, as Junior talked about, Racing for Heroes just broke ground on a health and wellness center right next to our headquarters. That building will be kind of purpose-built to help veterans, primarily with PTSD or other seen and unseen wounds from war, recover. And there's lots of different therapies that'll be there. A lot of them cutting edge, like hyperbaric oxygen therapy that accelerates healing. Other sorts of programs like a vitamin and supplement program that's designed to help people get off of things like opioids by making them feel better. If you're less depressed, you're able to kind of do things like work out and all those sorts of things. So those wraparound services are being put together, and we're super proud of that. Also, one of our sponsors, the Woodfin family, they are having a double donation. So if you donate to them, it doubles your donation. So if you go to askwoodfin.com, and that's ASKWOODFIN.com, and you make a donation of Racing for Heroes to them, it doubles the donation. So you get a two from there. So I ask, if you're out there listening and you want to donate to us, it's great if you donate through our program, but it's even better if you go through Ask Woodfin for the rest of the month, because they are there for us. And with that, we'll leave you with a little further down the road with the real Doug Lane. See you next week, everyone.